Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Napoleon Total, and back with Room 2 Divide Impera campaign as Egypt. So, what has been going on? Well, nothing has been going on. Last time we left off, destroying. I forgot the province. I forgot the faction, but Napoleon, I believe. Yeah, something like that along those lines.
Carthage welcomes you.
I don't want to.
Our
Okay.
attention.
And now we're just in the process of moving our troops east to prepare for an invasion of Ethiopia. Now let's see the situation in Ethiopia. I'm not even going to try to pronounce these names. I'm just going to refer to the province. And if you realize by now, provinces are these provinces are their Greek names, or and the Latin provinces in Rome are the Italian names. So Ptolemys Durnon is this people. Akushman is this, and Nudwi is your faction is also called the Nudwi are here, somewhere around here, and let's just just to get you realizing why I'm so interested in invading. This province is not so much. This province has gold, which is really important, and not to mention that if you go down south, it's pretty dang. It's rich, and it gives me a lot of resources. Last turn we also had this army, who I accidentally gave the Polish defenders, which is not a bad thing, but I do have to rename them. Defenders Ares, and yeah, it's just a slight unit change. Also, I do have a problem with my politicians in the sense that I do need some people in my court. Therefore, I need more people in my court. As of government overview, we have a good shot in noble families. Their power is the highest at 63. Egyptian families at 43. The Macedonian dynasty at 54. Now the Macedonian dynasty is probably the in terms of what type of people I need. Macedonian dynasty and Egyptians, and more Macedonian dynasty, I can replace them with either noble families or Egyptian nobles. Eventually in the late game, I'm just gonna delete them off the battlefield because I don't need them. I don't need them because I already have a lot of people, but that's in the late game. So let's just jump on and see what happens. So last video I tried talking about some history, and this is a perfect time in which I'll just talk more history because I like talking about history. So
My lords offer a symbol. Trade. You have much that we want.
You want my money, but okay, do I want a non-aggression pack? Yes, of course I want a non-aggression. How much money can you give me? A lot. Get lost. So talking about history, yeah, during the Wars of the Diadochi, the first question is, how was Ptolemy as a ruler? How was Ptolemy the first, obviously, as a general? Well, Ptolemy the first as a general, I cannot say for sure how good of a general he was. His biography is pretty simple in the fact that he was with Alexander for most of his campaign okay, good, that's great. Into Persia, into India, and yeah, a lot of places. Now, Ptolemy the First also served as another important figure, which was Alexander's personal. One second. Yeah, he also served as Alexander's personal he obviously served as Alexander's personal bodyguard, but he also served as his historian, and that is important because, like, you need someone to record your things down, obviously. And yeah. So speaking about that, another thing that Ptolemy was known for was Ptolemy, for what I know, for what I think at least, he was not the best of generals. He was more of a like a I like okay. I'm just gonna tell you about his battle records. During the Wars of the Diadochi, he won against Ptolemies at the Battle of the Nile, not because he was a great general like Seleucus, but more on the side that because like he was pretty lucky because during the entire battle, Ptolemies decided to assault him across the river, but that didn't work out for Ptolemies. And then what Ptolemies did was to ford a river crossing far away from Ptolemy's lines, and that worked until the river just expanded with water, and that made his entire army stuck in the river. And Ptolemy, seeing that, just attacked, which is pretty self-explanatory. The other battle was the Battle of Salamis, which was a naval battle for the city of Salamis, and not Salamis, my bad, it's Salamis. To be exact, it's right here. It's right here. And so Antigonus was invading Salamis, which was problematic for Ptolemy because that Salamis was like was very close to the Egyptian mainland, and so Ptolemy sent an entire navy with him leading the navy itself. He also sent one of his generals to control Salamis by land, and the result was that not only was he defeated on land, but also on at sea, which is pretty bad. And then he lost all of Salamis to Antigonus. Salamis, my bad. Cyprus. So used to saying the new names. So yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Another battle was during another battle, I believe. Yeah, the last battle was in was not really eventful because like he didn't participate at the Battle of Epis, so that was pretty interesting. Skills and a fun. Okay, how is public order dealing with? So I can't really say how good of a general he was. I just know that he was not the greatest general of the period, but definitely he was not good. Let's just put it nicely, he's not the great general. His son, Ptolemy II, was even less of a great general. As a matter of fact, he would later admit himself that he's not a great general. As a matter of fact, in the records that we have, well, even in the game, it says that Ptolemy II, Philosophorus, was not a great general. And, so basically he did not do anything cultures serious, no. He was not a great general, but he did focus on a lot of stuff. And no, I do not want a defensive plans. He focused on just like making Egypt stronger in terms of economically, which really did work. So that's the Ptolemaic family. Later on, I'll just talk about Ptolemy III and Ptolemy IV, but I'll talk about that when I get to the Seleucids. Alright, you guys should be getting, yep. Alright, I'll still send you on diplomat to Seleucus. Slowly they're starting to hate me, but okay, that's fine. What is another thing that occurred? Families. Macedonian candidate. Okay. Now, another problem I have is I'm hiring all these people because I really need a person in the Ptolemaic dynasty, and I'm not getting them, but I do have the money to spend just to buy people as of right now. As of later, I'll just send. Actually, no, I'll do it right now. I'll send a fleet. I don't care what unit I send, but I'll just put Egyptian Marines, and I'll sell down the entire Bosporus, and then I'll just like go here. This place is controlled by the Seleucids. This is India. Yeah, you heard me correct. This is India. Held by the Indian kings, so yeah, that's a problem. My army's slowly marching back, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Another thing. Now let's talk about the Egyptian class system. Now you see Egypt had a class system in the sense that at the top once again were the Greeks, at the bottom were everyone else. But the Egyptians did a lot of things to ensure the Ptolemies did a lot of things to ensure the Egyptian populace will not revolt. The first of them was they declared themselves as pharaohs. Why do you want a defensive alliance? No. I do not want to pull into another war, especially when I have the Seleucids on my front door. What's it called? Not again. What's it called? They have a lot of no.
My people do not like luxury.
Where was I? Oh yes. Ptolemies called themselves as pharaohs, and that and encouraging the Greeks to like intermarry with their Egyptians. The Egyptians really allowed them to make everyone happy. Alright, sorry about that. That was I don't know what happened, but that was just a fail on my part. Where was I talking about last time? Oh yes, the Ptolemies would make themselves as pharaohs. You'll see a lot of things repeat. And introduce themselves as pharaohs. What else did they do? They advised they encouraged Greeks to marry with Egyptians, not only to stabilize their rule, but also to improve the population. And as we could see in the game itself, Egypt has a massive Greek population issue, not so much of Egyptian, and that was changed later on after the Battle of Raphia, which I'll explain later. Defensive alliance. I do not need a defensive alliance, but I do want. No, I do not have any desires. What else? Not much. Seleucus. Another problem that well, that was most of the things. Some of the things that the Seleucus tried. The Ptolemies tried to make their population happy. Another thing that they also did was encourage ours, especially during the Ptolemy's period. Ptolemy II, this Ptolemy. He would actually, a funny story was that he would actually go around people and ask ships who would dock in his port, and he will ask them to, hey, open up your ports or else I blow your ships out of the water with my oars. Now, I'll tell you about what I mean by that later. And the ships will be given the choice. Either you give me your books. Yes, you heard me correct. Either you give me your books or get out of here. And guess what the people did? Well, they were like, alright, let's give you books. Oh, these people, good. I need you to get married. Because now you can give me a general. These are, I'll say, and that was another funny thing of Ptolemy. Now let's talk about Ptolemy's army, the Egyptian army. Once again, the Egyptian army was not Egyptian, it was Greek. That's a funny part. The Egyptian army was not Egyptian but Greek. Another interesting thing that has happened or will be happening is that oh wow, a lot of people don't want trade. Well, they don't want trade as of right now. Are you? No. Good. Not a lot of people want trade. Okay. Right, does Pontus want to trade? Or Sinope? Okay, good. Accepted, good. Trade agreement. Who are you guys at war with? Bellinia. Okay, so these people. Payment. Command payment. Give me all your money. All your money. Accepted, good, 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 good. No one likes you for obvious reasons. Trade agreement. Nope. Get out. Get lost. The Egyptian army was made out of Greeks. At least the core was, like the elite troops were. Now you might be asking, well, what are the elites? Well, the elites are the infantry, the heavy infantry at least. The medium infantry are mixed race, especially in the later periods. But as in the early period, especially during the first few Syrian wars, it was made out of Greeks. Nope, I do not want your defensive alliance. Get out. The auxiliaries were mainly made out of Egyptians. The cavalry was once again Greek. The elephant corps, I do not know, but like at this point, it's anyone who can crew an elephant. Go ahead, crew an elephant. And so basically, Greeks were seen as in a very high position. Well, put in a very high position. In Ptolemy's armies. Eventually, with manpower issues, and after the battle, thank you! You're killed. You're finally killed. Okay. So basically, what happens is that once a diplomacy fails, a person will die. Surprise, surprise. And yes, you're dead. I'm pretty dang happy. Oh, well, okay. That's fine. Can you get married? I need a person. Okay. Alright, Ankos. Do I want you as a cavalry general? Yeah, I think I'll have this dude leading cavalry army. I'll also raise a new army. And now, talking more about the Egyptian army. The cavalry was elite, the heavy infantry were elite, defenders of the Nile, sure, that's fine. Defenders of the Nile is also British March, but hey, who cares? Yeah. We're mainly made of Greek elites. And only after the battle, during the Battle of Raphael, will that change. Not only because Antigonus, who was Seleucus' son, was invading very, 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 very badly. Was also the matter of fact that there was not a lot of Greeks left. Like, literally, people were panicking up and down that Seleucus was just gonna run through Syria and Egypt, and that was a very big concern. So at that point, everyone was like, oh, "Okay, screw the customs, Egyptians. You're now allowed into the army." And even then, during those times, Ptolemy admit that Ptolemy III at that. Wait, no, the fourth. Yeah, I believe it was the fourth. Ptolemy IV at that time said, okay, this is emergency standards, and eventually that will lead to an open revolt from the Egyptians, because essentially what they said was that we fought for you, we died for you in the Battle of Raphael, and then now the second war is won, you have us go home without any improvement to our status, which is what Ptolemy IV did. Now, obviously, after Ptolemy IV, you can still consider Egypt was in its high period, in its like powerful period. But after Ptolemy IV, every ruler would become even more not crazy, but like useless compared to him. Infamy, okay. Rumor has spread around that in the shadows and forgotten places, your political rivals are meeting. Who knows what it is being discussed in the secret concaves? Let's hope it's not you. meet with them. At this point, I cannot kill them, not yet. Because I still need these people. I still need these people to be happy. Raise, have this army go here. Oh, why are you guys not marching? Keep marching, my friends. Egyptian mercenary band, no thank you.
How can I assist, Pharaoh? Come, join our ranks.
Okay, I'll just do that. And yeah, that was pretty much it for the Ptolemaic army. In the end of the Ptolemies during like Cleopatra's era, not only will they heavily rely on their Egyptian population, but they will also start to replace most of their core elite with mercenaries, and that was mainly due to wars, land losses in Syria, and I'll explain the entire Syrian war later. Almost everything was going down for Ptolemy. They had to heavily rely on Roman assistance to the end, and all things were just getting downhill. Cleopatra tried to thrive from that, but most of her efforts were economic, and yeah, it just went all downhill from there. Its navy had a similar fate at the beginning. It was mainly crewed by Egyptians because ships are large, and what the Ptolemies did was that they realized they wanted to show off in terms of power. Okay, that's fine. Upkeep 2 great. That is 100% fine. Faction. Oh, Pontus is destroyed. Wow, now Pontus was a very big faction. Pergamon, do you want trade? Oh, you really like me. Oh, that's a nice, interesting helmet. How many can you give me? Take it. Give me that money. Boom, boom. Boom. Take that. I need money, and I like your helmet. Now, yeah. So, the Ptolemaic navy was in a similar situation, except for the fact that the Ptolemaic navy was made up of Egyptians. Eventually, these ships, massive ships, techhectaries. Now, what does this mean? Techhectaries are ships that are massive, truly massive. They're like, the ships could literally put men on the size of they're not on the size of modern aircraft carriers, but they hold the manpower of aircraft carriers. And eventually, these ships will become even more rare until to the point that Ptolemy started to decline in power, and then civil war, intrigue, war losses on the mainland just led to the Ptolemies diverting more and more resources to the army. As obviously we know, the Ptolemaic army was not that impressive, and everything once again went down for Ptolemies. Eventually, had more and more Roman assistance, which that didn't work because, let's just put it short. There was a guy named Octavian who just doesn't like Cleopatra, and they just went to war. I'm giving you guys a very shortened version of history. But yeah, the Ptolemaic navy, what the Ptolemies did at their height of their power was realize, okay, you see these ships, right? Now, in order to bolster our power and in order to make our ships stronger, we have to build bigger and bigger ships. Did it work? To a certain degree, it did work. You want trainment? Wow. Wow, you really want... Take it, now leave. And it worked. To surprise of everyone. Yeah, that is the army, the navy, and what else do I have to talk? Oh yeah. So for the Egyptian provinces, what would happen is Oracle Delphi Great. was that Egyptian provinces were heavily are these basically the Egypt was heavily reliant on their Greek Macedonians, but most of the core level, for example, how do I put it in a nice way, the magistrates, all those people, they were held by Egyptians for obvious reasons. Now, now that puts a lot of things in retrospect. Okay, now let's get back to the game. I have 3 armies on the border of this province right here, and obviously these people, Nudia, have an entire army, but that is definitely not their entire army. So my fear is that they are going to war with these people. Now let me look at who you're. Oh, okay, you guys are not at war with them. Now, yeah, obviously, as a person who likes to go to war with people, me, I really like to divide and conquer my enemies. And so, yeah, that is pretty much it for this turn. I have a navy right here, don't I? Okay. Disband. I do not need a navy, and my navy also takes apart my income. So, Lucas, you guys hate me. Colchis, do you want non-aggression pact? No. Trade agreement? No. Okay, let's look at our faction. You guys like me, so I'll send you as a diplomat to Seleucus. Yeah, I do not want him to get any interesting. Wow, that guy looks very neat. Once again, we also suffered the problem of the Ptolemaic dynasty, which we do not have a lot of people in our dynasty. Alright, continue on. Next turn, we're definitely going to start the invasion of Ethiopia. And obviously, as you can see, I'm raising a lot of troops because eventually we're marching into Ethiopia, which is mostly desert at this point, and we're just going to take massive attrition. Sparta, do you... No, I do not want that. Once again, I do not want a defensive alliance. Please leave. Yeah, Nabatea. Wait, are these Nabatea? These are Nabatea, aren't they? Yeah, they... In Rome, regular Rome, they should be Nabatea. But, yeah. Non-aggression pact. You're giving me money, and yes, it's a non-aggression pact, but you're giving me money. 900, that's fine. Give me whatever money you have. Okay, Lydia, what are you doing? You make me really uncomfortable in the sense that, are you trying to invade me or what? With a generous tribute. Great. Now let's look at our faction summary. Oh my god. I'm 44 now, which is terrible. Okay, noble families are the biggest threat. How loyal are the noble families? 71? That's... Wait, no, that's 29. So these are the most loyal group. Faction. Declare war. Yes. Oh, freak. Oh god. I forgot to cancel their trade agreement. But it's fine. It's 100% fine. I will be a very cheeky bastard, and I'll replace, what's your name? Leonidas or something. I'll replace you with, wait. No, I do not want public order penalties. Yeah, I'm gonna put you as him. Now, the reason why I'm doing that is gonna be very obvious later on. is a little bit too obvious. But I'm gonna do a political assassination. Now, as of right now, we have already invaded Ethiopia, so everything should be fine. I have nothing else to do for this turn, and I have nothing else to do for this video, because this video should be ended right now. Sorry for the problem in between, but I can do what I can do. I can only do what I can do. Well, have a great day. I'll see you in the next one. Don't forget to subscribe and like this channel.